Oh, optimist. So please, God, don't
God.
that you're an eternal pessimist.
I like to say I'm a realist.
Oh, it's great. We're going to get along great. This is going to be great.
This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
Man, we got a squad. I think that's just something that we've been building, and the past 2 years we've kind of been stacking this thing and kept getting better and better. But we've added some pieces to our squad, and it's all about, like we mentioned, just finding ways to play our best ball. We've had some games where we've not played to our standard, and then I think this past couple of weeks we've been just elevating. But I think all of it is part of that Toyotathon magic, where you just start playing your best ball in the second half of the season.
Listen, if Jordan Love says we have a squad, I think we have a squad.
He might be right.
I think he's right. Audio courtesy of our guy, Pat McAfee. Of course, Jordan Love. We're not friends. I wish we were.
That'd be cool.
What's up, Wisconsin? Happy Hump Day. Inside Wisconsin Sports on your radio, statewide, on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Those studios are powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. This studio powered by coffee. A lot of snow in northeast Wisconsin. Josh, we have a predicament on our hands in the Thomas household.
Uh-oh.
Yep. It happened. We knew it was coming. Didn't know when it was going to come, but it's here. The young one has a 2-hour delay today. The old one is canceled.
So both kids are canceled. Got it.
Well, do you think the 2-hour delay is going to go to cancel? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying if it doesn't, it did. Unless you have the ability to take him to school.
The bus.
Oh, okay. All right.
So my point is the young one's going to be pissed when he wakes up.
Well, sure. That's
like,
life.
Oh, he has a 2-hour delay.
Sure.
I only have a 2-hour delay. Yeah. We knew it was coming. They go to separate schools for the first time. I mean, this happened last year too, right? But there was never a moment when one was on a 2-hour delay and the older one now is off. And if you don't think they're going to give each other the business on that, yeah. Well, what do I have to shovel? He's not. Yeah, it's going to be one of those.
I don't know that I ever had a delay in.
Really?
If I definitely don't remember it being like, yeah, we're just going to have school start a little later. Maybe it did. Maybe I just blocked it all out. That seems unique to me. It's either, especially for snow, it's either canceled or not canceled.
There's definitely the 2-hour delay thing. I'm not sure why, because they build snow days into the calendar. Maybe it's too early and they're like scared. Oh, God, we can't cancel yet. Nonetheless, I beat the plows on the way here. There's a lot of snow in Green Bay. WNFL, you're there in Milwaukee at 12:50 a.m. and 105.7 FM, The Fan. And we are statewide with our friends in Wausau and 93.9 The Game, 710 The Game in Duluth Superior. They got a ton of snow not too long ago. Nonetheless, we're here. Slightly dicey, little dicey, maybe pushed it a little much, almost went in the ditch. 4-wheel drive is not a pass, I'll tell you that, especially when there's this much snow. All right, sports, got it. Back to sports. Let's jump in. Play catch up. Packers, Brewers, Badgers, Bucks. First, Packers. Here we go.
No, that's awesome. That's one of the best. I think for him, just being an offensive guy, being in there in the quarterback room with us, since I've been here, me being able to see him and A-Rod, how they communicated, and now me being able to be the guy. Matt does a great job. He communicates clearly with how we're trying to attack the defense, what kind of calls we're going to go on the field with, and everybody knows what we need to do. And if we're not getting certain things done the right way, we're able to make those adjustments. But he's a guy who, I don't know if you see, but during the game, he's always there right next to me. Making sure we're on the same page with how we're going to attack him. But he's a very, I think he's one of the best offensive minded coaches in the NFL for sure.
Jordan Love makes a appearance yesterday on the Pat McAfee show on ESPN and comes out and says that Matt LaFleur is one of the best offensive minded coaches in the NFL. Really?
I mean, I don't necessarily disagree with that. I had other problems with that audio that we'll get to later in the show. But I think one of the keys and the positive notes on Matt LaFleur over his tenure has been his ability to scheme and put together good plays. I think the knocks on him have always been either leadership or just game management, not necessarily his offensive skill set.
There's been some moments this year where the play calling seemed a little, but if you look at his career as a whole, he's top 10 in scoring in 4 of the last 6 seasons, 2020, 21, 24, 25, over 25 points a game, super efficient. And I guess his overall resume says it works. I just don't view him in the current way. Well, I mean, maybe the current way the offense is humming, but I just don't think of the Green Bay Packers offense as one of the top in the NFL over Matt LaFleur's tenure. Maybe I'm missing something.
Well, I think part of it, and what I was going to ask you, I know questions is coming up next, but do you think when Jordan Love is saying, brightest, smartest, whatever he said, offensive minds, do you think that means just like based on play calling? I'm not taking that as play calling. I think that maybe like he schemes and he puts together really good plays. I just don't think that maybe he always decides to choose the best play in each scenario. That's why I say I think the knock on him is just the play calling, game management. But I think that the schemes he puts together, and when he does choose the right play, they're really brilliant plays.
That's what Jordan Love said, though, was he stands next to him in the game, and Matt LaFleur's dialed in from an offensive standpoint. So one would connect the dots on that and go, okay, Jordan Love is next to Matt LaFleur. They are watching the same game together, scheming together. They know what plays they're probably going to call on the next offensive series. Maybe, if anything, that was very encouraging to hear how on the same page the quarterback and the head coach are. Let's be real. That has not been the case in Green Bay always, but they sure seem to be on the same page. And listen, if Jordan Love has confidence in Matt LaFleur, then I have confidence in Matt LaFleur.
Okay. I'm not sure that I buy what Jordan Love was saying there in regards to Matt LaFleur.
You don't agree, hey?
I don't know that I do. I'm going to talk through it. That's something I got to get off my chest. I'll do it later in the show.
Let's go Brewers next. Did you see the news yesterday? Hit it.
Terang the batter. And Terang drives one. Center field. Way back there. Gone! Bryce Terang. His biggest swing as a Brewer. A huge homer in the 7th. And Milwaukee leads 3-1.
That was pretty much his only swing.
I was going to say, everyone remembers that. That was the only hit from Bryce Terang.
So Bryce Terang made some news yesterday. He was announced as a member of the World Baseball Classic Team USA. He is there now for the 3rd time in his career. I thought this was fascinating. He played for them in 15U, 18U, and now again here in 2026. I went and looked up his stats. Because Bryce Terang can hit the ball. He had a dumper of a playoff series. Let's be real.
I mean, it was awful. Hard to have really worse.
15U on the World Baseball Classic Team USA team. He batted .553. He was 21 of 38, 19 runs, 13 RBIs, 3 doubles, 1 triple, no dingers, and was 9 for 10. On stolen bases. 15-year-old Bryce Terang, amazing.
Yeah, pretty darn good. Yeah. It's quite a switch.
18U, a little step back. 353 average. He was 12 of 34, 7 runs, 2 RBIs, 1 double, 2 triples, no home runs. I feel like he didn't start hitting home runs, even for the Brewers, really until this year, other than the playoffs. But that was a good one.
Yeah, that was a big one. So it sounds to me like you're saying that Bryce Terang was in his prime at 15.
Pretty much.
That was his peak, was 15. Congratulations to him, though. That's good to have that representation cool from Milwaukee.
Listen, he needs more swings. If there's somebody on Team USA that can just maybe look at his swing and go, oh, I see what went wrong in the playoffs. Let's adjust this thing. That would be wonderful if we can get him back to dialed in by the time spring training starts. And I know that the World Baseball Classic isn't for some time. But. All right, Packers, Brewers, now Badgers. Listen. Have you watched Badgers volleyball?
I have. I've watched a little bit.
About this a little bit. They are in the Sweet 16. The NCAA tournament for Badgers volleyball is on. Number 3, Wisconsin plays number 2, Stanford, this coming Friday. I tell you this now on Wednesday to plan your schedules accordingly because this is fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
And now somebody along the way out there is going, really? The Packers are in first place and they're talking about Badgers volleyball? Buddy, watch Badgers volleyball and then come circle back around and tell me that's not worth you being informed about. 1:30 on Friday. And then the Bucks. Oh, Bucks. Here we go again.
Sorry, I was thinking about where am I going to watch that volleyball game?
Wins and losses. That's the nature of the business right now in Milwaukee. Giannis Antetokounmpo wants to play and compete for a second NBA championship. This is a Bucks team right now that's playing and competing for a back-end play-in tournament slot. And so they're 10-15 right now. Conversations are active and open as of last week between Giannis' side, his agent Alex Saratz's, and the Milwaukee Bucks. And my understanding is the locker room can also feel the tension at play here and the harder dialogue that could occur, how this team shapes up. The rest of this month, they have 6 of their next 9 games on the road. So this is a tough schedule coming up that the Bucks have. So it'll come down to wins and losses, how this team looks before the February 5th NBA trade deadline.
God. Why won't this go away?
Seriously, like 10 seconds into that, I'm like, I can't. I'm just so done with this dude. I'm done with all of it. The conversation, just everyone shut up.
Are you done with Shams? Are you done with Giannis? Are you done with
I'm done with all the media. Like I don't want to hear any more about it. Don't tell me what your sources are saying. Don't tell me what the reports are saying. Don't tell me, oh, the team's frustrated? No. You don't say. Could it be because their all-star 2-time MVP players been injured a lot and they're losing? Dewey, that would, possible. Of course, that's going to be it. This is all just rumor mill, and it's just when it's the first time, fine. Now I'm paying attention. When it's the 8th time, the 9th time, just shut up.
Is it Shams though? Because there's been other audio out there. KPJ said that Giannis makes the locker room feel like he's gonna stay. There was another audio clip that somebody talked to Giannis directly, and he said, I am where my feet are. And then Shams comes out and is like, nope, bull.
Yeah. Well, that's always the toughest part of where I'm not going to just throw it only on Shams, because we saw it from Windhorst. We see it's the media. It's literally the media. And then I don't know if they're getting the directive from NBA corporate or what the push is to continue these storylines. But
don't you think all this is coming from his agent?
Maybe his agent's in on it too. My point is, I'm saying as a fan, I've been done with it. I'm done with it. Let me know when something actually happens. I don't care how he feels. I don't care how the team feels. I don't care what the media is thinking about. Either I'm going to focus on what's happening on the court or not at all until something actually happens.
Are you going away from your Giannis love?
No.
You're just sick of the stuff.
Yeah, because nothing's happening. And it's Giannis saying, focus on the game, ignore the noise. I am where my feet are. Doc saying he's never requested a trade. And then them having to backpedal and say, well, we don't actually know. And this is what we just, the team's not happy. And if Giannis isn't happy, wouldn't he want to be somewhere where he's happy? Shut up. That's my, just stop talking. It's just, they're just peddling this narrative. It's annoying. And I'm just done with it.
Does it bother us more since this is not the first time a high-level MVP athlete in professional sports in Wisconsin has toyed with our emotions like this? Like, I feel that's on a bit of a repetitive pattern.
Yeah, I'm sure that's part of it. I think the big reason why it hurts even more this time around is because the Bucks are doing bad. This Bucks organization has found a way to be maybe not great every season, but good or good enough to where it's been easier for us to ignore the reports and the Giannis is going to go to LA rumor mill whenever, the Bucks are being talked about on ESPN. But this year, the Bucks stink. They're not doing well. And so it's adding fuel to the fire for this national media narrative. And I think locally we hate that even more because we don't want them to have a bigger flame with this story that they've been pushing for years.
If you take Giannis out of this, Josh, why do the Bucks stink so bad this year? And we can't blame it on Giannis himself because when Giannis plays, it's not like they're a completely different team either.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's been a little bit of injury. I think it's been a little bit of beyond Giannis, right? We've had injuries beyond just Giannis on the team. I think it's been, if I got to give one answer, I'd say Doc. I think it's coaching. I think that not a ton of the lineup has changed beyond Giannis. And you're looking at this team and you're going, man, they can't find a way to keep anything together. And that's got to go to leadership and who's running the team at some point.
Back to Shams for one more second before we move on. The reason I said I believe this is his agent is because I think in professional sports, if there's one thing that we can all agree on, it's that they know what they're doing and how to get paid.
Mm-hmm.
This is a multi-billion-dollar business, the NBA. Shams' agent conversations lead toward Giannis making more money. That's it.
Yeah, but you if you're going to say it's Giannis's agent that's pushing this to Shams and everything, like, isn't his agent's job also to listen to Giannis? Like, if Giannis didn't want this to continue, then he would tell his agent not to push it. So I don't feel like you can say it's his agent without also saying then it's Giannis.
Yeah, I think his agent probably has the green light. I don't know that Giannis is going, all right, put this out at this time, or I want you to talk about this 3 times this week. At some point, Shams is going to be right. That's so dumb to say out loud because so far it's, to your point, been nothing but fodder.
Yeah.
And it's got to be coming from his agent. That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, or it's just national media heads needing to keep pumping this story because it's the juiciest story, and it's fine. They were pumping this story when there was no juice. Now there's a little bit of juice, and they're going, hell yeah, here we go, warming up the hands. Let's go, get those keyboards hot.
Speaking of national media heads, Doug Gottlieb joins us at 8:00 today. Listen, we don't get the national media head.
No, we don't.
We get the dude. And I hope you love our 8 a.m. segment with Doug Gottlieb just as much as we do because it is a blast. Can't wait to chat with him. He made a little news.
Sure did. Wonder how he's doing.
We'll check in. Well, Would You Rather Wednesday, Gottlieb at 8 a.m. And if you could play one sport, one game at your peak athleticism, what would it be and how old were you? Ooh. We're going to ask that question of our audience later in today's show. If you're with us now at 6:20 a.m., but you're not going to be here at 8:30 a.m., we have great news. You can listen to this show wherever you listen to podcasts. Apple, Spotify, you name it, we're there. Search Inside Wisconsin Sports. You can do it by the hour. Go to the segment that you missed, whatever you'd like. It is there for you on demand, wherever you listen to podcasts. Just search Inside Wisconsin Sports. We're off and running. A lot of snow in northeast Wisconsin, not so much in other parts of the state. That is how winter works. These little bands come through, and then some schools are off in 2-hour delays. Just drive safe. That's the point. If you're out and about today and we're on your radio and you're driving, are you at the age, Josh, where you have to turn down the radio to think or see better?
I've been there for a long time.
So dumb. Why do we do that?
I can't, for some reason, can't do both.
I Have Questions is next. We're Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Sports Talk on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network is presented by Paramount Plus. You can't count on much, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL game live every Sunday all season long. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started. Inside Wisconsin Sports, Trevor, Josh,
hi,
and we have questions.
When things just don't add up, Trevor and Josh ask the hard questions or just point out how messed up stuff is.
I only have one question.
Can you fly this plane and land it?
Surely you can't be serious.
Do you view this season as a failure?
You asked me the same question last year.
What's the most important question the Badgers have to answer Saturday?
This is a great question. Oh my God, this is a great question.
It's time for I Have Questions on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
The Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text Line, 414-677-1250. Get with us. What questions can we answer for you today? Or maybe just what are you questioning in Wisconsin sports? Josh, you have a question about seeding.
Yeah, I do. And I hate, people don't understand. I got a lot of questions that pop up in my head, and the majority of them I go, well, ignore that. I just move on.
If we said all the things that popped into our head out loud,
it'd be awful. It'd be terrible. And my wife would say that I do ask all those questions out loud, and she wish I'd keep half of them in.
That's awesome.
So the reason for this question, though, is it time in the NFL season to stop worrying about the seeding and start worrying about who is hot and who is not? And the reason for that is because after the Packers beat the Bears, right, they greatly increased their chances of winning the NFC North. They're currently the 2 seed. If they win out and the Rams lose once, they'll be the 1 seed. Everyone looking at that. But then when you look at the wild card teams that are currently in there, you have the Seahawks that are playing great at 10-3. 49ers are 9-4. Bears are 9-4. Now, obviously, we beat the Bears. I don't think they're frauds. You do think they're frauds. But either way, I feel like the wild card teams this year are really, really good teams. At least they've been playing that way. And I know there's still 4 games, 3 games, whatever it is, left in the season for, is it 4 for everyone? Yeah, 4 for everyone. The late buys, those late buys really messed me up.
I think this last weekend was the last late buy. I think that's the latest you can get a buy.
It's too late. Too late for buys at this point. Buys should have been taken care of like 2 weeks ago. Anyway, but so I'm looking at this and I'm going, man, I don't like the idea of the Packers having to go up against the 49ers. Again, I've got bad history, bad memories of the Packers and 49ers. I don't know that I want that if they're playing well. Packers, Seahawks. I think we all remember a certain game against the Seahawks as well. And so I'm starting to look at these and I'm just wondering and asking the question, am I too early in the process of thinking about who else is playing well that the Packers might have to go up against in comparison to just where the Packers are seated?
We have a little PTSD with the Brewers in this category as well. For as much of a heater as they were on in the middle of the season, the Heat went cold at the end of the season. I think we barely squeaked through that Cubs series. Thank God we did.
Yeah.
And then got torched. So before we talk about the heating in the playoffs, Josh, I want to know, are you looking to win out? Would that make you feel best? Or on a Would You Rather Wednesday, do you want one more loss just to get it out of the way?
It's a good question because I think that ties into the beating a team 3 times in a row question, which I also don't know that I necessarily believe in, that it's hard to beat a team 3 times. It's hard to win a game in the NFL.
Yeah, don't want to know this week.
Right. It doesn't really matter. I understand it's, you face them more, they have more film on you, blah, 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 blah. But no, I don't want there to be a purposeful loss. I want this team to stay hot. But it's and I think they are hot right now. I'm just looking at who they'd be up against and where that team is. Are they hot right now? Are they like on the uprise of becoming hot? Those are the things that are starting to go through my mind. And I'm just questioning it going, is this too early? Is it too early to be having these thoughts of who's becoming the hot team, who's already the hot team, who's on their way down? All of those type of things.
There's a lot that comes into play, too, about what we're wishing for right now for the Green Bay Packers. Do we want the first round bye.
Which sounds stupid to say no to. I know we haven't had all the luck in the world with it in the past, but yes, I would like an automatic win. Yes.
It's fair. It's fair. So the other question then is, let's just say we stay at the 2 seed and we play at Lambeau. Right now it's against the Bears. Back to that, can we beat them 3 times in one season thing?
Mm-hmm.
Yet we play the Bears again between now and the end of the season, and we're already noticing that we might very well end up playing them in the playoffs. The Lions aren't out of it, by the way.
No.
There's a chance that the Bears completely collapse, which I would really enjoy. I would really enjoy that.
But then you'd switch out the Bears with the Lions if things stayed the same and the Packers were the 2 seed. So it's the same thing, right? Then you're like, okay, but then if the Lions do that, are the Lions getting hot at the right time? And those are the things that are going through my mind. And when you look at the seeding, if you focus on the seeding, the Packers could lose to the Bears and split that series and still win their other games and end up with the 2 seed. It just might be more difficult for them to get past the Rams, but that 2 seed is still probably pretty good with the Eagles on the decline, right? If we were doing Philadelphia radio, I would be in a huge panic. Everybody panic. Like, we're going to win the East, but we're going to, I'd love to be a wild card team going to Philly right now.
Seattle plays the Rams, and if the Rams lose and the Packers win out, the Packers are the number 1 overall seed.
Correct.
To your point, Philly, not so much, even though they're currently the NFC leader in the East. But I feel like the Steelers are going, hey, hi.
Well, Steelers, no.
For another wild card spot, I'm saying. Not necessarily for that division. I'm just saying for the wild card spot, because we're talking about teams that are on heaters, right? They're still alive. Am I wrong on that?
Well, Steelers are in the AFC. You mean Cowboys?
Yes.
Okay.
My bad.
I was like, no, Steelers don't affect the...
My bad.
Yeah.
The reason I was thinking Steelers is because this morning it was in conversation about old quarterbacks with Phillip Rivers going to the Colts.
Yeah. I mean, Steelers are, which was super crazy to hear. But
right.
Yeah, the Cowboys. So the Cowboys are 6-6-1. So they're 2 games back of the Eagles, or a game and a half, I guess, because of the tie. I don't know. The tie still is crazy. But yeah, so the Eagles would have to have a huge collapse for the Cowboys to still jump ahead.
They sure seem collapsible, don't they?
They do, but that's what I'm saying. Like, with the hot or not, you look at the Eagles, you go, well, they're a 3 seed. Yeah, but they're the easiest 3 seed on the schedule right now.
8 and 5, yeah.
I just don't know if it's too early, because if the Eagles win out, are we having that conversation? No, we're saying the Eagles had a downswing and then they got hot at the right time. I don't know. That's why I have questions. I'm going back and forth.
Do you think the Packers are 100% healthy?
No.
Me neither. And they're on a heater.
No, but I don't know that their injuries, besides maybe LVN, who do we have on the sidelines that's a true impact player that can be back this year?
Don't look at it as sidelines. Look at it as players that are playing that are not 100%.
Oh, I see. So players that are available, but playing hurt.
Like Josh Jacobs is an example. Is his knee completely better?
Sure, but I mean, you talk to Kuhn, and just every year they say everybody's playing hurt at this point in the season. No one's at 100%. I don't think Jordan Love is at 100%. We haven't heard anything about his shoulder, but I would not believe that it's at 100%. So I think that the entire team, everyone's banged up and bruised, and no one's playing like they did in September as far as health. That's just part of the game.
That godforsaken tie is going to come back to haunt us, I feel like. Because right now we would be tied for the number 1 seed in the NFC had we not tied at the Cowboys.
Correct. But if we would have lost to the Cowboys...
that's half empty.
Okay.
Half full.
Could
have been a win.
I'm just saying it could have been worse.
It always can be worse, indeed.
So I want to know where you're at on this. Are you, when you look at the schedule, when you look at who the Packers have left, when you look at the seeding, are you thinking about yet what teams are hot and what teams aren't when it comes
honestly
to
don't think
the
about
playoffs?
any other team but the Packers. And I don't know that I like the idea of winning out. Are they 4 in a row or 5 in a row? If they win this weekend, would that be 5 in a row?
That'd be 5
Something
in a row.
like that. And then if they win out, I was told there would be no math, but 9 in a row. That's a lot in the NFL, especially. Now, if you look back at 2010, I feel like that's the heater that team went on. They got hot late. But I don't feel it's the winning started earlier than late. And so I don't know. I don't mind that we're winning. I like that we're playing well. I still think we can play better. But the whole peak too soon thing is maybe just too soon for me in my dome because the Brewers clearly peaked too soon. And I know. MLB, NFL comparisons, blah, blah, blah. It's just a Wisconsin sports fan over here going, I don't know.
Wait a minute. I know that Take Back Tuesday was yesterday, but that's a big thing for you to say right now. Because when we started the show, I was saying those things, and you were telling me to calm down and to believe in this team and saying that this is the hottest team in baseball and that there's no reason to.
Oh, yeah. I have buyer's remorse on that for sure.
Oh, wow. This is news to me. Welcome to the show, everybody.
I don't have to take back Tuesday in December for my Brewers playoffs.
Oh, you get to just get to let that slide under the rug because it's been a month?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's been more than a month.
No, I don't like that.
I think if the Packers keep winning, it's not the worst thing. But I wouldn't mind a little check. And I'm telling you, I feel like it's going to be the Ravens. I do. I'm not saying I want to lose to them. Here you go. Who would you want to lose to between now and the end of the year? If you could choose.
This Broncos team.
There's a lot of people saying this is the preview of the Super Bowl, so why them?
Because if they lose to the Broncos, the Broncos are a good team. They've proven that. So I don't feel like we're questioning as much about the team as if they lose to like the Bears or the Vikings. Second would be the Ravens, but the Ravens is still at home. So now you're losing a home game, which I also don't like that taste in my mouth. So if you're going to lose one of the next 4, I understand it's a little early and I get where you're coming from. You lose to the Ravens and then you win the next 2, but I'd rather lose to the Broncos, be able to say, okay, they made a mistake. They lost because they made a few mistakes against a really good team, and then watch them win out and get that dominance back going into the playoffs.
The 608 says, avoid injuries and get a home game in the playoffs. We're 4 weeks left. Key injuries can change a team's trajectory. Imagine how good we'd feel right now with a healthy Kraft and a healthy Wyatt.
Yeah, 100%.
And Milton. Yeah.
Think about how we would have felt if we had Bakhtiari healthy in, I don't know, pick any situation where he was out
after he got hurt.
When he got hurt. Yeah. I mean, that's football. If you have all your guys all the time, you're feeling pretty good.
239 says you can peak as early as you want if you're the most talented team in the league. In football.
I mean, there's definitely truth to that, but I still go back to when the Packers, what were they? 15-1, 2, whatever that season was, a decade ago, where you thought this team's unstoppable. Like no one's going to be able to stop this team. And then, they were stopped. It's just, I feel like it doesn't matter the sport. I really feel like there is something to being, you don't have to be the best team. You have to be the hottest team. Sometimes they're both, but the best team versus the hottest team wins. Who do you want to play in the playoffs, Josh? I mean, as it stands right now, like that question.
We would play the Bears.
Yeah, I mean, if I got right, because I can't choose the Buccaneers, because the answer would be anyone from the South. But yeah, I would say the Bears out of the current wildcard teams, and I think I'd pick the Bears. I got to question that. I was gonna say I think I'd pick the Bears over the Lions, but now I don't know.
And if you look at the NFC playoff picture, which team scares you the most? Rams. That's I think so.
The Rams. Absolutely, it's the Rams.
10-3.
It's not just their record. The Rams are a damn good team. And I don't know that I want to, I still have love for Devontae. So I like seeing him do things, and I don't want to see him do things against us.
I'd love to see him play at Lambeau in the cold in the playoffs. If we could somehow get the Rams
3 targets and 1 catch for 7 yards, yeah, me too. That'd be great.
Well, he won't be used to not being force-fed the ball at Lambeau Field because that's what we did best when he was here.
That's true.
When he left, I remember saying, who's going to Rodgers force it to now?
Right.
What are we going to do?
Oh,
he hates the cold.
Those were frustrating games.
The cold. I would like to see that. All right. So did we determine where we stand on this?
I don't know. I still have the question in my head of is it too early? I think if I had to make a decision on it now, I'd say it's still too early. It's a game or two too early to worry about who's hot and who's not.
A lot could change. 4 weeks left in the NFL. When we come back, NFL Films is just showing off at this point. That's an incredible piece they put together. We'll play for you next, and we'll chat about it a little bit because we talked about this earlier. NFL Films has got some stuff in their coffers. And when they put stuff like this together, it just blows my mind. Inside Wisconsin Sports, Trevor and Josh live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Welcome back, Wisconsin, Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Time for today's most electrifying sound of the day.
It's time for
The most electrifying
sound of the day.
The most electrifying
On Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Brought to you by Best Electric. Learn more at bestelect.com. Don't stress. Connect with the best.
And where else would you want to be than Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin for a monster game in the NFC North? The Chicago Bears and the Green Bay Packers, and it is cold.
Hey, listen, all this talk all week. Packers, Bears, we're the ones they talk about. Right. We're the ones who gotta play physical. This our day today.
Blitz on, they pick it up. Lofts the middle, going for Watson. Got it, touchdown, Green Bay Packers, Christian Watson.
Trust your feet, your eyes. No.
On the fake, Williams looking, throwing, it is intercepted. Keyshawn Nixon and the Packers will win it. The Packers will hang on. They will take the lead in the NFC North.
Yep, we'll be. Stay healthy. Yep.
And that highlight package put together by NFL Films of the Packers and Bears is the most electrifying sound of the day, brought to you by our friends at Best Electric. Remember, no job is too big or too small for Best Electric. Don't stress. Connect with the best. Call them today or visit bestelect.com. Man, NFL Films is just like, it's, you know what it made me realize? Like, it's all the music. Like, and I don't know if you've ever seen that. Sometimes they're like Twitter accounts that'll change the music in like serious scenes in movies, and to like and like it completely changes the whole mood or tone. When NFL Films puts that type of music behind a football game highlights, you just freeze. It's just crazy how intense it is.
I love that. I love it when they use the Packers. Obviously, the Packers Bears is a big one.
Right.
My son is in a film class in high school right now, and they were doing that type of music behind non-thriller films to make them sound like thrillers.
Yeah.
That was a blast.
Yeah.
I asked a buddy one time that's a little older. He's probably in his early 60s at this point. I said, if you grew up in an era when cell phones had cameras and videos, how would that have gone for you? And he goes, listen, I didn't kill anybody, but I'd probably just be getting out of jail.
Yeah.
And I think of that with the technology today of NFL Films and go back into the yesteryear and the way the league used to be with the hits and just the gnarly stuff that the NFL used to be prior to all the injuries. Boy, if we could combine those two, that'd be fun.
You know what's crazy to me is when you watch a broadcast, you don't see all these cameras. Like you see all the cameramen and photographers and whatever in the end zone, like near the end zone. But like when they do sideline shots, I don't see 6 camera guys in there getting those close-up amazing shots of, you know, the coaches and the players on the sidelines. And then you see it in these NFL films and you're like, where was that guy? Where was that guy during the broadcast? I didn't see it. It's crazy how they can hide when you're watching it live. And then obviously they were there to put that beautiful piece of cinema together.
Rodgers has been complaining about this for years, that there are microphones and cameras everywhere. I mean, that dude was flipping off cameras when he was walking around Soldier Field. And I don't think it had anything to do with owning the Bears.
Oh, this is an ADHD moment. Sorry, but did you see Justin Herbert, like not wanting
his post-game presser?
Yeah, not wanting to stop and talk in the camera. He's like, no, I just want to go celebrate my... What?
Careful what you wish for, guys.
I have never seen, like after a post-game, like for a post-game interview, I don't remember ever seeing that.
Real quick, Justin from the Port on the Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line, 414-677-1250. Back to us chatting about what do the playoffs look like for the Packers? Do we need to be on a heater? What does seeding matter? All the things that we just kind of went through in the I Have Questions portion of the show. He's got a good one here. He says, let's not worry about all that, man. Right now, the goal should be to just keep Jordan Love upright and protect him from himself. Dude takes too many hits. That's a good point.
Okay, but also, no, the Packers are not in a position to where you can take the foot off your gas and just worry about keeping people healthy and upright. I understand that needs to be a concern, right? We don't need any more injuries.
Well, I don't think he's saying take your foot off the gas. I'm just saying if there is a thing that we want to focus on right now,
it's winning.
And you don't win without Jordan Love. That's his point.
Okay, sure.
Let's do everything we can in scheming, in practice, in protection. How do we make sure that we do everything we need to do to win while also considering that doesn't happen without Jordan Love? So maybe we call less plays where he would end up running the ball, or maybe we call more runs, or let's not have him be flushed out of the pocket on certain plays. I heard a whole conversation yesterday on this radio station about what happens when they can. And Mason Crosby was talking about, well, it's already predetermined because for the most part, we feel like if they can, that they're going to a run play, but that's not always the case. That's not drawn up. It's based on the play call. If they call a pass and they can, it's going to go to a run potentially, or if they vice versa, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to see more runs in the final 4 weeks. I'm not asking to take the air out of the ball.
Sure.
I just want to see more runs.
I was going to say, I've liked the aggressive.
I do too.
Ball out plays.
But I get his point. Let's do what we need to do to win these games and keep Jordan Love healthy. When we come back, we forget the Packers have been building this team for years. We'll explain in the morning mind-up. Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. I am an eternal optimist. So please, God, don't tell me that you're an eternal pessimist.
I like to say I'm a realist.
Oh, great. We're going to get along great. This is going to be great.
This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
He's got to come here and face us in the cold weather. And sometimes, if you're not used to it, you don't play your best ball and you're not ready for it. But that's something that we got to thrive in these conditions is, we practice in this every day. So you find a way to get used to it. But no, it never makes it fun. I'd definitely rather be playing in an indoor stadium where, you ain't got to deal with none of these conditions. But, it is what it is. You got to try and just take your mind to a different place.
Jordan Love on Pat McAfee yesterday on ESPN talking about playing in the cold because, well, deal with it, dude. This is where you're at.
Mm-hmm.
If you are like Giannis, your feet are where you are.
Yep.
I am where my feet are. And, buddy, it's cold here, and it snows here.
It just meant to mean, it used to mean more for it to be you had to go to Lambeau to play in the cold.
Times were different. There was a conversation on this station yesterday, Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, by the way, Inside Wisconsin Sports, Trevor and Josh. They were talking about how many layers that players used to wear and how they stayed warm and what happens this time of year. Now, interestingly, 2 out of the next 4 games for the Packers are indoors.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, one. But 2 are in the cold is what I meant to say. We're indoors in Minneapolis.
Correct.
2 are in the cold. 1 is Denver. Not so cold this weekend in Denver. The Packers are at a different level right now than they've been in the past. Why? Time for the Morning Mind Dump.
I hear voices in my head. They counsel me. They understand. They talk to me.
The coffee has kicked in. We're awake and ready to roll. Let's get some things off our chest and out of our heads.
You don't know what it's like to be me out here for you. It is an up at dawn, pride-swallowing siege that I will never fully tell you about, okay?
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore. I'm in a glass case of emotion.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
We've got no food. We got no jobs. Our pets' heads are falling off.
It's time for the Morning Mind Dump on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
The Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text Line, 414-677-1250. Time for the Wednesday edition of the Morning Mind Dump. I like today because the I Have Questions portion of the show wasn't negative. And the Morning Mind Dump, not negative. I really appreciate that unless you have something.
I mean, I might.
Okay. All right. Well, can we start with positive?
Yeah. Start with positive.
Cool. Here's Jordan Love talking about how impressive this squad is this year from McAfee yesterday.
Man, we got a squad. I think that's been something that we've been building. And, the past 2 years, we've kind of been stacking this thing and kept getting better and better. But, we've added some pieces to our squad. And, it's all about, like we mentioned, just finding ways to play our best ball. We've had some games where we've not played to our standard. And then I think this past couple of weeks, we've been just elevating. But, I think all of it is part of that Toyotathon magic where, you just start playing your best ball in the second half of the season.
We have a squad, Josh.
That's what he said. I believe him.
I believe him too. But that was hard to remember the majority of this season, as if we weren't building to this. But you take a little bit of time to look at the last 3 years and go, oh, yeah, like everything we did from starting when Jordan Love starting in 2023 and having young receivers. I mean, drafted that year, Jaden Reed, Luke Musgrave, Tucker Kraft, Dontavian Wicks, all 4 of those guys still in the Packers. Way to go, Goody. 2024, they go from, all right, we're really doing this with Jordan Love to, okay, we did that. Now, what's next? We got to keep raising the bar. In comes Jeff Hafley. In comes Josh Jacobs. And in comes Xavier McKinney. Rashawn Gary signs an extension in 2023. We got rid of Rasul Douglas, but picked up some draft picks. And now we're starting to see the team take shape. That Josh Jacobs signing in 2024 messed with us all.
Yeah.
The idea was Aaron Jones is going to stick around.
Oh, and then there were those glorious 17 minutes when we had both.
And then we got Josh Jacobs for the same amount of money in 2024 on the same years in a deal that we signed Aaron Jones for. And we went, oh, okay. All right.
Upgrade.
And now here we are. The all-in window has arrived.
Because then this year, building this team,
Micah Parsons.
They get Micah Parsons. So I think there's a reason why it's hard for us to remember that. And it's the difference when we look at the rest of Wisconsin sports. It's the difference of expectations. The 2023, right, was the year where we gave Love a break. We said, we said, I don't know how this year's going to go. If they make the playoffs, I'll be satisfied. But they got to learn together. It might be a hard year. Well, they ended up going and not only making the playoffs, they had that amazing game in Dallas and then lost to San Francisco. After that season, especially based on how well they played and exceeded our expectations for that season, it's been Super Bowl every year since. Those have been the expectations. We don't experience that with other teams in the state. There's no other team in the state, college or professional, that our expectation every single year is championship game. It's not. The Bucks has not been, well, this team absolutely should make it back to the finals. Of course, that's the goal, but that's not the expectation.
Right.
The Brewers is not the expectation to go to the World Series. It's what did we say last year? It was they got to win a playoff series. Right. They got to win a series in the playoffs. That's what we're looking for, right? So it's those expectations. But with the Packers, there was 1 year. That was it. They got 1 year to not have the expectation be Super Bowl. And so when, as a fan base, that's constantly our expectation, that's what leads to us not realizing, just like any other sports team, you need to work towards this. You need to put pieces together. And like you said, like you just pointed out, that's what they've been doing.
So we got a squad.
Sure do.
And it's really cool. Yet it didn't feel that way mid-season. The Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line, 414-677-1250. Let's start here. The 414 says, how in the world do we get Parsons?
Yeah, I still don't.
Let's take that for granted, shall we?
I mean, I feel like no matter how much love and praise we give Micah Parsons, we're still taking it for granted.
Also valid. But look at just how we built this team. And we went through some growing pains. Let's be real. Jordan Love didn't look great, but didn't look bad in his first year wearing the G on his helmet as the starter. We signed Josh Jacobs, and a lot came along in terms of expectations with him. But rare do we watch what he does and see how it affects Jordan Love. I mean, Josh Jacobs is not just yards. It's the structure of how we use him in the run game. I wrote down he's closing drives. He's forcing defenses into the box so that Love gets cleaner looks. He absolutely is the short yardage answer that the Packers have been looking for. The receivers got over the dropsies, Josh. We had them for some time. Wasn't good. Now, looking at healthy receivers outside of Tucker Kraft, where do you rank the Packers receiving core right now in the NFL?
I mean, top 5.
Has to be, right?
Yeah. But it's because all these pieces are healthy. You asked me that middle of the season without Jaden Reed. I'm not saying that. And to be honest with you, I think it's still potential. It's still crazy to me that we have these guys that we're not seeing enough of. Golden, Dobbs in the last game. It's like this receiving core can still have guys that have a night off, essentially.
Exactly.
I mean, it's nuts.
Dontavian Wicks, Savion Williams, Matthew Golden. Did you see them last weekend? Me neither.
Right.
That's crazy. Luke Musgrave was making diving catches. Apparently not a catch, but diving catches nonetheless.
Yeah.
Percentage of throws sent towards Romeo Dobbs this year. How many has he dropped? Percentage. What do you think?
Less than 15%.
Less than 15%. 7.1% of the passes thrown to Romeo Doubs have been dropped. Now, we can picture a couple that were a little hard to swallow. Any drop C's from Christian Watson percentage-wise?
Not that I've seen, but also there's not a ton to go off of yet for him, right? But how many games is that he's played?
All of them.
Oh, well, yeah.
He's played in.
Yeah, right.
My point is, we're over the dropsies for the most part. That's crazy.
Knock on wood quick for that.
Yeah, sure. But look at how we built this team. And if you just take a step back, this is what the Green Bay Packers have figured out since Brett Favre. Build it and they will come. It's painful sometimes, especially when we go from one quarterback to the next. But let's be just comparable purposes. There are other NFL teams that have had far greater pain than what we've gone through as Packers fans. And so here we are in a year where it's Jordan Love's third year starting.
Mm-hmm.
Rodgers won the Super Bowl when? Third year he
started, yep.
Look at how that team grew. Young receivers. How many of the receiving core from that 2010 Super Bowl team can you name, Josh?
Wait, sorry, say that again. Receiving the
receivers from the 2010 Green Bay Packers Super Bowl team.
Yeah, Jordy, Driver,
right?
Yeah.
James Jones, Greg Jennings.
Yep. I mean, that was the all-star team. A Sports Illustrated cover. Still talked about today.
Look at this receiving core now too. One could compare and go, "Oh, hold on, they grew up."
Okay,
and that's what
I'm not comparing this receiving core to that.
No, I'm just saying that they grew up.
Okay,
they grew up though. I mean, really, they grew up.
Okay,
we may compare it to that team later.
I'll be very happy if we are.
Right,
it means a lot of good things are happening.
There's just a lot of similarities. And when Jordan Love said we got a squad, I went, "Do we have a squad?"
Yeah, I don't think I ever doubted that we do, though. Even 2 years ago. I mean, we're just adding pieces, but I would have said last year we had a squad. I would have said at the end of the 23 season, damn, we got a squad here. I think it's just people don't realize in the game of football how many things all have to be working at the same time.
Right.
And how many things can derail your season. Injuries, boom, you're done. Obviously, we're used to that in Wisconsin sports. But what has been the main focus that we've been talking about all season long with this team? Is it that they have a squad? No. It's coaching. It's leadership. It's concerns about coaching, leadership.
Yeah.
It's those type of things which over the last 2-3 weeks we haven't been talking about, have we?
Right. No.
So are the problems fixed? I don't know.
All right. So what's your problem?
You saying, hold on. I want to bring that up because you just said they're on a heater. I think that's really important. We had Doc from Caledonia called me during the break, and because we were talking about, and I have questions earlier in the show about, is now the right time to talk about if a team is hot or not? And he was saying he doesn't think the Packers are hot right now. He thinks the Packers are getting hot. And I went, well, that's a take. That's an interesting take. Because on one hand, I can understand you saying that based on where the Packers were before the Vikings game, I don't know that you would say that they were hot. So do you count the Vikings, Lions, and Bears, their last three opponents, do you count those 3 games as to where they are now hot, or are they still trending upwards and there's still room for them to improve being the hot team? I don't know. But if you are playing the hot or not game, that's an interesting question. It's hard for me to not say after 3 wins in a row against those teams that they're hot. But I'm open to hearing other arguments.
Now that you bring it up that way, I have questions. Are the Packers hot? They beat the Giants because they needed to, but it was only by a touchdown. Whooped up on the Vikings because they absolutely needed to, because the Vikings are terrible.
Right.
Played a really good game against the Lions and the
a really
Bears.
Good game against the Bears.
Yeah. So maybe the question is, back to legitimacy, Lions-Bears. Are those 2 wins proof that this team is on a heater right now?
Right. Or I mean, I said yesterday that this game against the Broncos is the opportunity for the Packers to make a statement win.
Mm-hmm.
If they go into Denver and they beat Denver, I don't care how, they beat Denver, that's a statement win because the Broncos right now are the number 1 team in the NFL.
Right.
So it's undeniable if they beat the Broncos that this team is hot. They are not trending upwards. They are on fire.
If they lose, are we questioning that?
That's the question, right? So then if they lose, can you continue to trend upwards and be the hot team if you lose a game? I don't know that that's possible. I don't know that you can say you're the hot team at the right time if you lost. That's an interesting question. I'd like to know the answer to that from our listeners.
Statement win for a second here against the Lions and the Bears. Are those statement wins?
I think the Lions win was a bigger statement win than the Bears, if I'm being honest. Because
4-0 in the division.
Yeah.
Against the two teams that aren't the dump of the division, that is the Vikings right now. By a touchdown.
That's why I think the win against the Lions was, if you're going to look at either of them as a statement win, it was against the Lions, because before they played the Lions, a lot of people were questioning if the Packers, they had lost to the Panthers, you lost to the Eagles. The biggest win up to that point was beating the Steelers on the road. So playing the Lions on Thanksgiving in Detroit was okay, wait a minute. That was a good team the Packers just beat. So I would say that was kind of, that game more than the Vikings game was the start of the trend upwards for me. But no, I don't think it was a statement win. I think that for a statement win, you're saying this team is scary again. Like everyone feared in week 1. Yeah, that team's back. And I don't think that happens unless they beat the Broncos.
You said something coming into the morning mind dump that you may have something negative. What do you got?
Yeah, I just wanted to talk about quickly, and we played it before, but Jordan Love talked about his relationship with Matt LaFleur. I don't know if you guys heard this. Sounded like this.
What's your relationship like with Matt LaFleur, I guess, or how has it grown over your time there? It's fun to watch him on the sidelines. He seems to be very passionate, very fiery. I don't know if he's been pumping the crowd much lately or not, but I guess how is that, especially the communication through the helmet, and how do you guys get along day to day?
No, that's awesome. Matt's one of the best. I think for him, just being an offensive guy, being in there in the quarterback room with us, since I've been here, me being able to see him and A-Rod, how they communicated, and now me being able to be the guy. Matt does a great job. He communicates clearly with how we're trying to attack the defense, what kind of calls we're going to go on the field with, and everybody knows what we need to do. And if we're not getting certain things done the right way, we're able to make those adjustments. But he's a guy who, I don't know if you see, but during the game, he's always there right next to me, make sure we're on the same page with how we're going to attack him. But he's a very, I think he's one of the best offensive minded coaches in the NFL for sure.
Okay. This could just be me. I overreact at things from time to time. I don't know that he answered the question. I feel like he gave a really good little ooh-rah-rah for Matt LaFleur. He's a great offensive coach. You can see him there on the sidelines next to me. He always makes sure we're on the same page. Yes, what's your relationship with Matt LaFleur? How is your relationship? He didn't really say anything about, I don't know. I feel like I wanted more from him to make me feel like, yeah, these guys are tight. Like, they're tighter than we give them credit. We can put all this, there's a miscommunication. Something's not clicking on all cylinders with the communication between Matt LaFleur and Jordan Love. I didn't get enough from his answer. I didn't expect him to go and say, things could be better. You know? Right. So, he's got to give some type of answer like that. But when the question is, how's your relationship with him? And then all you do is kind of go through his accolades. I don't know. I felt like I wanted more from Jordan Love on that to truly buy in that Jordan Love's opinion of Matt LaFleur is beyond just, he's a good coach.
Do you see anything that would lead you to believe that's not true?
Well, if you asked me that after the Carolina Panthers game, I'd say yes, absolutely.
Yeah, we talked about that for sure.
Right. And so, we spent a lot of time this season with questioning the communication and just the overall relationship and feelings with this team on Matt LaFleur. And that answer from Jordan Love just to me was more like, yeah, he's a great guy. Or not that he's a great guy. It's just, yeah, he's a smart football coach. And he always makes sure that we know what he wants us to do.
I saw one.
I don't know that I buy that as good enough for what I want my head coach and my quarterback to be on with their relationship. I want more.
I saw one thing that leads me to believe they're in a good spot. The very end of the video of LaFleur's post-game speech in the Packers locker room. There was an embrace
at the
that
end.
caught.
I did see that.
Mhm.
I did see that.
And that wasn't a bro hug. That was a love you hug.
You know what that was to me? That was like a way that like mom and dad hug each other after the kids opened all their Christmas presents. And it's
That's
like
a great comparison.
And it's like the kids are all excited and playing with their toys, and mom and dad are just like, I love you. Good job. I love you too. Like that kind of moment. Okay, that was good. See, that helps me more than his answer did to McAfee.
You're welcome.
His answer to McAfee didn't give it, but you're right. I remember seeing that, and that was good. That was a good moment. Okay. All right, I'm good.
Back?
That they're good?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was good. I'll say that they're good. I just didn't. I wanted more from his answer. I would have loved for him to go out and say, well, I mean, yeah, after the big win, we had we hugged it out after that. And, he said like, hey, I'm so proud of you. And just something of that sort. I'd be like, damn, look at that. Those are my two guys on the same page. He didn't say any of that. And so it got me frustrated.
All right. But yet, indeed, there was quite the embrace. I still think they're on a heater. All right. When we come back, it's Would You Rather Wednesday. It's one of my favorite segments that we do because it's sports and sporting life.
Mm-hmm.
You don't like it?
I just feel like I'm not very good at answering questions. I'm very indecisive. And then you put me in a position to where I have to answer hard questions. I don't like it.
And that's why it's my favorite segment. Let's go. All right. Inside Wisconsin Sports, Trevor and Josh, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Would you rather? What's up, Wisconsin? Welcome back inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Reminder, if you miss any part of today's show, you can always listen after. Go on wherever you listen to podcasts and search Inside Wisconsin Sports. You can catch up on every episode, every hour, every highlight, whenever it works for you. A Would You Rather Wednesday. The Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line, 414-677-1250. We love seeing your Would You Rather questions in regards to Wisconsin sports and sporting life.
Or life in general.
In general. And we love seeing your answers to our Would You Rather questions. All right, Josh, you want to go first? This is your favorite segment.
Yeah, it's my favorite segment. All right, yeah, I'll go first. Based on some of the conversations we've had earlier in the show, I have a few. Would you rather have cameras everywhere around you throughout the day, not like necessarily someone following you, but they're just cameras, or have to watch cameras of your family from throughout the day every night?
Ooh. Do we not pretty much have cameras all around us right now anyway?
That's true, but you
They're
don't,
watching.
I mean, but like, like you see them, like they're there.
I'd rather have cameras on me than watch my family.
100%. I'm exactly the same.
Yeah.
I can defend myself of going, I don't know, I was being an idiot.
Yeah.
If I see, not that I don't trust anyone, but like if I'm watching my kid, I will watch my 9-year-old like a hawk the entire day and be like, why weren't you paying attention for 4 minutes in class? Like I will be just on him. It would be terrible. I'd be stressed the entire day.
That's the truth. All right, here's my first one. Would you rather, and this is relative to what we talked about yesterday with people standing at Packers games and or just games in general.
Okay.
Would you rather always sit behind someone who stands the whole game, or would you rather sit next to someone who narrates every play like Wayne Larrivee?
Oh, that one. Like Wayne Larrivee?
No, they're not Wayne Larrivee.
No, I know. But even if they're narrating it like Wayne Larrivee, that's great. I would take that.
Sure.
In comparison, if they narrate it like me, who doesn't get paid a ton of money and has done broadcast play-by-play for hundreds of years and has absolutely no experience, I'm going to be like, he threw it to, who was that? Okay, that guy. Oh, it's going to be way worse. I'll take that. Also, sitting behind every time sitting behind someone that stands, what's the point? Then now I'm just looking at your back the entire game.
Well, but you're doing this. Like,
doing the constant lean. Yeah, I suppose.
All right.
We talked about the snow. A lot of snow talk this morning. Would you rather drive in heavy snow or heavy rain?
Oh, heavy snow. Not even a question.
Yeah, exactly.
I hate driving in the rain.
You know what's funny about driving in heavy rain? You can't. When it gets bad enough, you have to pull over because you literally can't see. To me, it's driving. I always question when people are like, "Oh, be careful! It's snowing really heavy out there." It's like that's not the bigger concern. How long has it been snowing? It's after the snow has fallen. That's when the roads are bad. You got to be careful before the plows get out. Otherwise, it's like you're in the Millennium Falcon and you're going into hyperspace. It's cool. I don't mind that.
The snow today in Green Bay and where I live in Northeast Wisconsin is one of those snows where it snowed a lot and it's 40-mile-an-hour winds. 30, like now it's blowing everywhere.
Yeah.
Versus now you're just not driving in heavy snow, but now it's drifting snow, and that's what tugs your you-know-what into the ditch.
Yeah. Yep, it's true.
Would you rather only attend games, speaking of snow, in January at Lambeau Field, or only attend games in September at Lambeau Field?
Give me the cold games every single time. Now, that just applies to football. And it honestly only applies to football at Lambeau Field. There's something magical about that place with it being cold and snow. I want it to be a snow globe. I will layer up. I'll put on my snow pants and boots. Absolutely.
Have you been in a snow globe game at Lambeau Field?
Yeah, I have.
That Seattle playoff game, mind you, a younger Trevor was overserved that day. I'll be the first to admit that.
No.
Stop. There are mental images, though, of that Favre throwing snowballs and the comeback after Ryan Grant's fumbles.
Yeah.
Real fun.
Oh, it's great. It's great. All right, how about this one? Would you rather Jordan Love be the Walter Payton Man of the Year award winner or be the regular season MVP?
Apples and oranges, but it's the would you rather game. I like knowing that I know that Jordan Love does great work off the field. I don't need that award for me to get that. And if he's the MVP, I think we're officially on a heater.
I have said for too long that I don't need Jordan Love to be an MVP quarterback. We had those. I want him to be a great quarterback on an even better team. And that team's going to lead me to the Super Bowl. I want him to be a Super Bowl MVP. A regular season MVP, I don't mean to, I know that my, Packers entitlement is showing a little bit here, but I've had Packers MVPs. We have 2 NFL Man of the Year award winners, and the first was Bart Starr before it was even the Walter Payton award. And then I think the other one was like the Packers chaplain or something, if I did my research right, in 2000. I would like to see a Green Bay Packer represented and be able to wear that patch on their uniform. I think there's a lot of honor that goes with that, and it's a big deal. I'd love to see it, and who better than Jordan Love?
Would you rather tailgate every home Packers game but never go inside, or would you go inside but never tailgate?
Ooh.
This is really easy for me.
I need to go in the game for a Packer game.
And you're walking past the tailgates every time.
Yep. I think if you would have said Brewers, maybe it's a different conversation. Packers, no, get me to the game. I need to be in that bowl.
This conversation is relative to me because I haven't done either this year. And that annoys me. I love tailgating at Lambeau Field, and I love going to games at Lambeau Field. But doing what we do, tailgating at Lambeau Field, and then going to the game at Lambeau Field, and then thinking you're going to have your head on straight on Monday morning and know what you're talking about, just don't, at least in my life, they don't exist. That combination doesn't work. I would, because I live here, and I've done this, whether I go into the game or not, sometimes I do go tailgate. Now, I haven't this year, and I miss it greatly. But I would much rather go tailgate and then go watch the game at home or one of the local establishments versus not tailgating and just going to the game. I don't think I'm interested.
See, I know that there are tons of people, and, Uke, we still miss you. But back in the day, would literally pay for parking, not even having tickets to a Brewers game, that would go and set up the tailgate and just turn on their radio and just be in the parking lot with, some meat on the grill, and it's the 4th, 5th inning, and you're walking in, and you're still seeing people just sitting in chairs outside the back of their car listening to Uke call a game in the middle of the summer, and you're tailgating in the parking lot. That to me is way easier of a choice to choose the tailgate.
I like it.
All right, this one's based on a text that came in on the Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line when we were talking about our receiving core. The 414 said, pump the brakes. The Packers receiving core is the 3rd best in the division. St. Brown and Williams in Detroit are number 1. Jefferson and Addison are number 2. Then us. Minnesota just needs a QB. That's from Fish in the Falls. So that had me thinking, would you rather wide receiver edition? Would you rather have Jefferson and Addison or Watson and Reed?
Watson and Reed. I think Jordan Love and Christian Watson are on the same page. And it's scary if you're another team. We talked about this yesterday. I think that other teams in the NFL should be afraid of the Green Bay Packers right now. And what makes me believe that the most is Christian Watson and Jordan Love. Compare Christian Watson and Jordan Love being on the same page to another set of quarterback receiver combos that we've had here at the Green Bay Packers since the Favre era.
I mean, what do you, Rodgers and Devontae?
That's one.
I mean, that's the one.
No, there's a lot. There's more.
I mean, I know there's more, but like that duo was the Jordan and Pippen of the Green Bay Packers.
Who was Favre on the most same page with?
He played forever.
He did.
I don't know which one I would pick. Who are you thinking?
I think Robert Brooks.
Okay. I think that's a fair answer.
The reason I say that is because Robert Brooks is famous for making the Lambeau leap popular.
Yeah.
And the only way he does that post Leroy Butler handoff from Reggie White is if he scores a boatload of touchdowns. And Favre and Robert Brooks, those long touchdown throws that they were so well known for, that reminds me a lot of Christian Watson and Jordan Love. The capability.
The only thing that had me thinking about this is, man, it would be cool to see Jordan Love throwing passes to Justin Jefferson. That would be cool to watch.
But would that be another scenario where now we have the star? And granted, I understand that we would benefit from having one of the top receivers in the NFL. Understood. There's a piece of me, though, watching this Packers team grow over the last 3 years that really likes the idea of you don't know where he's going to throw it next.
Yeah, I agree.
That's harder to match up against.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead.
I got one more. You got, how many you got?
No, we're good. You're good.
Okay. Would you rather throw a chair or break a clipboard?
We'll ask him at 8:00.
Well, I want your answer.
I'll throw a chair.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Give me a chair. And
you give me those two, I'm chucking that chair.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I have questions about that, by the way. That annoyed me for all sorts of different reasons. It's the first thing out of the gate with Doug Gottlieb at 8:00. We're going right at it.
100%.
We are going right at the chair throw and the clipboard conversation, and I'm unhappy because I think I'll save it.
Yeah, save
you got to
it.
tune in at 8:00, but I'm chucking a chair for sure. All right, I got one more for you, and we talked about this, and then when we come back, we're going to go at the Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line, look at your answers, and also there's a few would you rather questions from you all out there that are amazing. And if you have one, get it in. The Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line, 414-677-1250. Josh, you got another dusting of snow last night, did you not?
Yes.
Would you rather this constant dusting or 5 snowfalls in 1 year that are 8 inches or more?
I'm going to say,
as you peer out the window.
I know. Well, because it's snowing. It's snowing and the wind's blowing. Same thing you were saying that's happening up there. I would say the latter because I'm really sick of not having snow on Christmas.
Oh.
I seeing it constantly snow all December and then like the week of Christmas, there's no snow and I can't even look outside to see snow still on the ground and it's just like wet, muddy grass. I don't like that. I want snow on Christmas.
Fingers crossed that it's still a white Christmas because you know how Wisconsin goes.
That's right.
Very likely could be 48 degrees in 2 weeks.
Yep.
Dumb. But I love it. Screw Arizona, by the way, Jason, in the 920. Well, you want to live in the winter in Wisconsin or Arizona? I'm over the snow. You're old. That's what you are. You're old. It's one of my best friends, by the way. All right, when we come back, your Would You Rather questions and your Would You Rather answers. Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. A Would You Rather Wednesday on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. The Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line is on one today.
Yeah, I love it.
414-677-1250. Get them in if you have Would You Rather questions between now and the top of the hour when Doug Gottlieb joins us at 8 a.m. And we have questions.
Sure do.
So we were talking earlier about if the Packers are hot or not. And there's somebody that commented, are they hot or are they just playing subpar teams? So the question there is, would you rather have the Packers beating subpar teams or the Packers go, let's just say 60-40 or 70-30 against premier teams in the regular season?
Yeah, that's a good question. I love the idea of telling myself you can only play who's on your schedule.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this year specifically, we have seen teams, the Packers being one of them, where our feelings on what type of team they are have changed dramatically throughout the season. I mean, look at the fact that Carolina is technically still in the hunt for a playoff spot. When Carolina came to Green Bay, it was like, all right, so here's a win. Like
right.
That was our thought. And now look at where they are. So I would go with play the teams that are on your schedule, because you don't know when that team's going to be hot or not. Your feeling on who that team is might change after you play them. I love this one here from the 715. I had asked you about Jordan Love. Would you rather have him win the Walter Payton Man of the Year award or the regular season NFL MVP? 715 said, I'd rather have Man of the Year for Love than MVP. MVPs rarely win a Super Bowl. Kurt Warner was the last. That's a good point. And even more to the reason why I agree with him, not only just because I want to see a Green Bay Packer have that patch on their jersey, but I want a Super Bowl more than I want personal awards.
Mm-hmm.
We had a quarterback that earned plenty of personal rewards. He didn't get back to the Super Bowl after the first one.
He's an angry elf.
Take me back for a chance to win the Lombardi.
Bob in Minneapolis, I'm going to paraphrase for you here. Would you rather the Bucks or an NHL team? I know, don't give me the we have the Admirals crap. Would you rather
But hey, go
Bucks?
Admirals.
Sure.
I love the Admirals.
Sure. Bucks or an NHL team?
It's so tough. I'm Bucks because Giannis plays for the Bucks. And I understand it's okay, so you just love Giannis. I can't at this point disassociate the two. If I have an NHL team, I'll never have Giannis. He plays a different sport. So that's
what do you think my answer is?
NHL.
All day long.
And here's the other thing. People say that, but what if we had the worst NHL team in the league? You still feeling that way?
Yeah, NHL. Have you been to an NHL game?
I have.
They're outstanding.
I'm just saying that I feel like a big part of that is you still want a team that wins. And so if we had an NHL team that was a crappy team, people are still probably saying the same thing. And
Lambeau,
I love watching the Admirals and the players that go through there. And then, man, when they had those guys that went on to Nashville, and then Nashville won it all, that was awesome.
Lambeau and or AmFam Field. Josh, would you rather no lines at the concession stands or no lines in the bathrooms?
Okay.
That's from the 480.
So two different answers here. If it's AmFam, no lines at concessions. Game's longer. I can hear it on the radio when I'm waiting in line to go to the bathroom, whatever. That's fine. Let me get my brat, my hot dog, and get back to my seat. If it's Lambeau Field, clear out those bathrooms. I got to take off 17 layers to go to the bathroom. I want those bathrooms to be clear. That's way easier.
For me, it's bathrooms.
Bathrooms in both?
Yeah. Without going into medical MDs that aren't MDs on our Nicolay Law Fan Talk and text line and trying to diagnose my prostate, I just would like to go to the bathroom when I need to go to the bathroom.
Oh, there's a really good one here from Chris in Brookfield.
Yeah, I was hoping we were going to get to that before the top of the hour.
Crap!
Read it.
Chris in Brookfield says, would you rather never wear a hat again or never wear shorts again? Oh, Chris, that's so tough. Oh, I'm mad at you.
You wear a hat every day.
Every day, bud.
We've been doing this show, I think, 3-ish months. I don't think you've repeated a hat.
No, I have.
That's impressive.
Oh.
And also a problem.
I would have to go never wear shorts again, but good Lord, that sounds awful. Oh, I hated that question.
Pre-bald Trevor probably would have said hat, but bald Trevor and hats don't get along. And I'm a hot box in the summertime. I got to have shorts.
I agree, but I need my hat.
Well,
I need both. It's a terrible question. I hate you, Chris.
Do you know Chris?
No.
Okay, well.
Yes, a good would you rather. But I don't like it.
All right. That's awesome. All right, when we come back at the top of the hour, actually, this will be good.
Yeah.
Hey, Nicolay Law fan talking text line. 414-677-1250. Any questions for Doug Gottlieb? Since we talked with him last, there have been a thing or two that's happened in his life at UWGB. One of which was against Robert Morris in the Horizon League first game of the year. They opened league play with Robert Morris. You might recall from a previous conversation, it was against Robert Morris last year when the initial incident happened with said clipboard. And if you missed it last week, Doug Gottlieb and I had a little wager, and this time Josh Albrecht is Jeff Levering. He's along for the ride. I asked Doug how many clipboards he's going to break this year. And he goes, none.
Line's at 1.5.
The line ended at 1.5, and I took the over.
And then he threw a damn chair.
The other day was a dead giveaway for a broken clipboard.
100%.
I think he's rigging it. I think he knew exactly what he was doing. I had questions.
Yeah, I think they're valid.
We'll chat with him about that. Plus, I don't know if you saw the Stuart Scott documentary coming.
Oh,
Did
I
you
haven't.
see this on ESPN? Yeah,
No,
they're
no.
doing, I think it's a 30 for 30 or one of those things about Stuart Scott.
Yeah.
In a conversation yesterday on SportsCenter, there was a picture of Stuart Scott and other people at ESPN in a flag football game. And who was there? Old number 44, Doug Gottlieb. I want to hear about that too.
Yeah,
Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. I am an eternal optimist. So please, God, don't tell me that you're an eternal pessimist.
I like to say I'm a realist.
Oh, it's great. We're going to get along great. This is going to be great.
This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
I guess we talk about the fact that what's being called a chair throwing was the lead story for ESPN.com for a minute, and then ESPN's college basketball page. Look, I started with the premise or the question I posed to the guys, which is, it had to be a slow news day, right? Slow news day.
Not today. Today's going to be a good news day.
Yeah, sure is.
Happy Wednesday, Wisconsin. Inside Wisconsin Sports. Trevor Thomas, Josh Albrecht. Hi. Live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
I can't wait any longer. Let's go.
I cleared my throat behind the scenes. Wisconsin Sports Radio Network guest hotline open and currently taken by the one and only Doug Gottlieb, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. Buddy, I got to, first off, hi, happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. How you guys doing?
Good, Doug. How are you?
I'm okay.
What happened? What?
So last time nothing. Okay, last time we talked about clipboards. Okay?
Yeah.
And the over-under was 1.5.
On broken clipboards.
On broken clipboards.
Didn't break.
Sure I know it didn't. It's because you chucked a chair instead.
Oh, that. No, I did. I actually slammed down a clipboard at Wright State and told them to have some pride. But it didn't. There's no. It's like I have one that's like spongy, foamy. That was good. It was not a chair. Trevor, let's set the record straight. Okay, it was a stool. Okay, it was a stool. And I would also want to point out, okay, this is a very important. Like, when I worked at ESPN, they're like, hey, you can't go on sports radio and do rumors or whatever. You got to do facts. Right? I was like, no, it's sports radio. Like, not really how it worked, but okay. So there is no actual video of me throwing the chair or the stool.
You're right.
Okay? It's not. There's me, then there's the stool. Okay? And the stool was at least partially sort of in my way. And no. Listen, I don't know if I told you this, but I'm not supposed to share. It's just the three of us, circle of trust, right?
Here we are.
Yeah.
Yep.
I am, in fact, a Jedi. And I use the Force. And I did not know that, it's like part of the good side of the Force is you have to control your anger. So the bad side of the Force came out, and it just moved the stool. And I didn't know what happened. But I was a lot like the young Anakin Skywalker there, where I just lost my cool and bad things happened.
Yep, we'll go with that.
I'm so proud of you for so many reasons. I did go back and check the video. It is indeed a stool. It is a very chair-like stool, but it does not have a back.
Was it an office chair?
It's not a chair-like stool.
Well,
there's no chair-like stool. What other kind of
the stool are?
No. It was a rolling deal. Okay, and it was
stool.
Yes, but that's not a chair. A chair has a back. Stool is flat.
It did not have a back. You were right about that. See,
correct.
It looked at.
It was also not metal. And when I used the Force, and I may have moved it out of the way, there was nobody around. It was like if you read that story, you would think I picked up the chair and threw it into a crowd, right? That's how it reads to people, and you're like, yeah, that's not my finest moment, right? Not my finest moment, but it's like, again, like I'm a big handshake. Suck it up after you lose. I looked Andy Toole in the eye and shook hands, but no, it's like it's the old best of times and worst of times. I don't think we played particularly well, but we definitely had them chasing us, and we're up 11 late and up 9 with about minute and a half to go, and just made a series of decisions. It's one of those where everything that can go wrong goes wrong, and everything goes right for them. And then we made some mistakes, some out of youth, some out of inexperience,
I didn't feel like any of it was out of lack of preparedness. Like that's my big thing as a staff is we had to be prepared for every possible scenario. But we just collectively screwed it up and cost ourselves a chance at 1-0 against a really good team who won the Horizon League last year. And those ones sting. And then then we go to Wright State and it's a close game at halftime and we just have no juice. And I think all of the I just think our guys were completely worn out by whether it's travel, games, how hard they've been playing, or the emotions of losing our conference home opener. And really, that's our Division I home opener too, right? Like we played Bradley as an exhibition, and then played Haskell and Ripon. And so, just again, our schedule is very, very difficult. So you're playing really your first true home game that matters, and they all matter, I guess. But against a league game, and you're playing well, and you find a way to lose. So, Rudy gets cramps, and things just go bad. What can I tell you? Again, not our greatest moments, especially me personally. But when things go wrong, it's my fault, and I accept responsibility for every loss, and I take no accountability for wins.
Doug, I'm sorry to do this as the impartial just gets to go along for the ride guy in the middle here, but are we feeling, Trevor, like foam around the clipboard is allowed in this bet?
You'll see.
It's not foam. It's not. Well, everybody's stuck trying to get here. No, it's in an office next to mine. My door is closed.
Oh, that's fine.
But also our managers and players, we got practice here in 22. We have film in 22 minutes. But we the boards are next time. I'll bring the board for display so that any of your digital viewers can see that there's just like a foam lining, which I think safe.
Because these radio bets we make, there's some integrity that goes along with Well,
it's 1.5, and that one's still fine. So I'm still at 0.
That's right. You're at 0 there.
We're not making a chair bet. We're not doing.
I would also tell you, that we have 5 managers, and they're all like the nicest kids in the world. Okay. So in addition to this game, we're playing well. So they have. I need 3 things at every timeout. 3 things. Okay. Stool or chair to sit on to talk to our players. One of these dry erase pens. Mm-hmm. And a board. Okay. During a college basketball game, there are at minimum 8 timeouts. Okay. Then when you factor in, you have a use it or lose it timeout in the first half. That's 10. Almost everybody uses it. Right. And then you have 3 timeouts in the second half for each team. And I ran out. So that's 13. And I think Andy used 2 of his. That's 15 timeouts. Do you know how many times I had all 3?
Oh,
none.
No.
I'm going to say 6.
And it's like they're the nicest kids, and they're all like it's. And again, I'm just as guilty of it as well, right? Like part of the reason they need to have a pen is I constantly grab these things, have in my pocket, and then my house looks like a crazy person's house because I draw in mirrors and things like that. Because I'll get to it, I'll erase it, whatever, and there's plays, and here's what we do, but whatever. So I have these dry erase markers everywhere, but. It's like one of those where you're sitting there and you have the board and you have the stool and everybody's around and then you look at the board, you're like, where's the pen? You're like, oh, I forgot the pen. And then also go for the pen. So then you sit down and the next time out they give you the coach, here's your pen. Great. Coach, here's your board. Great. And you go over, you're like, okay, I'm gonna get underneath for this one. So
no wonder you threw the stool. You're like, I needed that in the timeout.
I did not throw the stool.
Oh,
Use the force.
Use the force.
Move the stool.
My apologies. Yes.
Okay. But again, I'm a young Jedi. I'm in training. I have to use to control that.
Of course.
Oh, we lost your audio, brother.
Can you hear us? Hold on.
I think his headset died.
Yeah.
He's taking it off.
There you go. Sorry.
There we go.
Welcome back.
Yeah. So
okay.
Yeah, I got to learn to control,
right? Because that's the good side of the force.
So. Zen, no balance.
Yes.
Doug Gottlieb, Inside Wisconsin Sports. Trevor and Josh. DG, the internet loves to hate you when you do stuff like this. But this is not uncommon in sports. Head coaches get angry. They lose their temper. I mean, this is not just Doug Gottlieb. This is across every sport at every level. I coached elementary basketball and lost my cool. It comes up often in a joke with other parents. There's a difference, I think, when you do something like that, whether it's on the sideline or as you're walking off the court, but then this video pops up online of you and athletic director Josh Moon talking in the practice gym after the game. And my first reaction was, all right, that's like, this is going too far now. So what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I've kind of been in this fishbowl for more than a minute, so I'm sort of used to it. I did feel like that was a bit of an invasion of privacy. But I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't understand why that would be even post-worthy, right? Like, this is Josh just does his job. He grabs me afterwards. How you doing? You okay? You know, he asked me a couple questions. What happened here? What happened there? You know, and then gives me, like, he's great. We're partners in this thing. And there's zero negatives in me talking to my boss after a basketball game, win or lose. Right? Like, you know, that's how we do it. You know, we talk every day, several times a day, and he's a dear friend of mine. So I don't even know. But yeah, it's just, look, the stool thing, people want to make it out of something. It's not a great look. I shouldn't have done it. Fine. I don't even know why anybody would make that into any. We're literally talking, right? Because the Dick Bennett gym, which is our practice gym, which is, by the way, awesome. You know, everybody else is opening up practice facilities in our league, and they're not as good as the one that we actually already have. Ours is better. It's next to our locker room, which is just redone. It's brand new. And so, yeah, I just walked outside to kind of cool down. And then we're just talking for a second before the players all filter up, because I shook hands and I was the first one out. And I knew I needed to cool off a little bit. And then, you know, I went down to the media afterwards. I probably should have spent another moment kind of cooling off before I went down there. But again,
you were sweaty.
I mean, look, it was unbelievably emotional, and you know, we collectively have been. Look, the group just kind of found itself, really in the Minnesota game. You know, we had Dontrell Hewlett had a open wound, lower leg injury that was really, really tough to look at. It was turned the other way, and he's in the hospital. We played poorly against St. Thomas, but early in the St. Thomas game that happened, and guys struggled to kind of keep it together. And then I just tightened the rotation. We changed some things, and they just all of a sudden became a really good collective group. But it does that travel and the emotion which our guys play with, and I frankly demand of our players. It can take a toll, and then so when we lost, you're just fighting for, I think, respect. And that's really it. And Trevor, you were there for every home game last year. You knew how hard those kids fought. This year's group has some more talent added, but has the same sort of mentality. And so I think we take losses a little bit harder because we care more. That's what I've circled around. And yes, we got to find ways to channel it. Yes, we got to find ways to bounce back better from them. But it's because everybody in this program, from coach to manager to player, cares. Matter of fact, that's actually why the managers always forget something. It's because they just want to get the players water. They just want to know what's next. They just want to win the game. They're watching the game. They're so into it. So there's a level of intensity that I live my life with, and that I like to coach with, and I like my players to play with, and I make no apologies for it. That's how we won, and that's how we're going to continue to win. That's how we have to match teams that are bigger, stronger, and maybe physically tougher. We have to make them match our level of intensity, not the other way around.
We're talking to Doug Gottlieb here on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. And Doug, one of the reasons why I really love that we get to talk to you every week is that you're not just a coach. You also do national radio. You get to wear both caps. And so when Trevor and I have a conversation like we did earlier in the show, I love being able to go to you and ask the question. So we were talking about, is it too early in the season to be the NFL season, looking at the Packers and them having 4 regular season games left? The conversation about a team being hot or worrying about just your seeding and what seed you are, and that conversation, and when it's too early, or if you should even focus it on at all, as someone that is your coach and has to have a coach mentality, but also has to talk about sports and kind of be more in our realm. Where do you stand on the worry about your seeding versus
peaking too early? Is the concern for peaking too early?
Correct. Or just that conversation. Some people think that you don't worry about that, just worry about being the best team.
I think you can, if you ask coaches, and this is something that I always thought, but now I know, having done it, is like, you can be winning games and not playing well. Like, hey, we're not really playing that well, and you can lose games and actually be playing well, right? You're like, oh, we actually played, we're actually going in the right direction. Just people outside just see the score. They don't watch the all 22 if it's in football. For the Packers, I mean, obviously the uniqueness of playing at home in Lambeau, wanting to play in the elements. I think there's nothing wrong with looking at, hey, okay, Broncos on the road, then the Bears on the road, Ravens at home, Vikings on the road. You feel like those last 2, you'll be a big favorite over the Ravens as they're trending to, if things fall the right way, they may be sort of out of the playoff race, and right. And does Lamar even play in that game? Right. Sure. And then the Vikings, I mean, they're sort of at some point packing it in, right? They're at 5-8 now, and they're out of it. And one more loss. I like, all right, what are we doing with some of our star players? Do we play them last game of the season? So again, in terms of your seeding, you can't bank on, because you don't know if you're going to be healthy or whatever for those last 2. You just got to focus on this week. And I think the offense is trending in the right direction. I think, what they figured out with the running game is hugely important. Also, LaFleur he's not being as conservative as he was in that Eagles game. Again, but like, I wasn't even down on the Packers after watching the Eagles game. I mean, that was a game I thought they should have won. And I think the Eagles are really, really good. I think they're a hard matchup, especially when healthy on the defensive front like they were in that game. And the Packers were not, right? I wouldn't even, it's not that I'm not worried about it. Are they playing good football? The answer is yes. Is Jordan Love finding a rhythm? Yes. Are they starting to run the football? Yes. The defense is starting to make some plays. And, Micah Parsons, despite the fact he was being held, like, they've kind of all figured each other out, how they're all going to work. And, the big question with the Bears game was their running game. And, the way to beat a defense that has the type of speed the Pack has is to run the football at them. And they were okay. You give up 138 yards in the ground. It wasn't as bad as the week before when the Bears beat the Eagles, but it wasn't as good as they wanted to be. So your question is a really good one. Does peaking at the wrong time, is that a real thing? I think the answer is yes. But I don't think that peaking is a bad thing, even if it happens mid-year, because that's what you tell your team. Like, hey, we're a good football team. Look, at this point in time, we were playing great. We got to get that back, And, I do think they have the Vikings game at the end of the year. The Ravens at home have a chance to be get-right games. They got to get one of these next 2. Right, you get one of these next 2, and you got a real shot at the number 1 overall seed. And I think that's golden. But the big thing is you want to get that home field advantage. Sweep the Bears, get home field advantage, win the division, and then let the chips fall where they may. I don't think you worry about peaking then. You just worry about, we got to win Sunday, and then we got to win next Sunday, and then we got to win next Sunday, and we got to win next Sunday. And we do that, then we'll have a week off, and we'll get ready for whoever we play in the playoffs.
To Josh's point, we get to talk to you about all things sports because you've been a national radio/TV broadcaster for a long time. So I'm watching ESPN the other day, and this will probably be the last one, DG, because we don't want to get in between you and your film session before you guys head to IU Indy. So I'm watching ESPN. They're pumping this Booyah 30 for 30 on our guy Stuart Scott. It airs tonight on ESPN, 8 Central. And all of a sudden, I see a picture of a flag football team in some major game back in the day. And Stuart showed up like dressed to the nines in football gear. And then on the bottom right, there's this young-looking, spry, in-shape number 44, Doug Gottlieb. Tell us about your time at ESPN back in the day doing radio, but more specifically, your time with Stuart Scott, because it's pretty cool that you're going to show up on this documentary tonight.
That is cool. I remember the flag football game. It was against the Bristol Police Department, right? And I remember I was like playing cornerback, and I'm going against some cop. And I'm like, hey man, if I let you score a touchdown, can I get out of some parking tickets? Can we do that? The guy's dying. Like, no, I'm dead serious. Like, I got like 3 parking tickets. Like, I don't want to pay him. So, but there's this really cool baseball field in downtown Bristol, Connecticut. At the time, my wife, my girls were really little. I think she may have been pregnant. She was pregnant in the fall. I'm going to guess it was 2009. Maybe 2008, 2009. If they're a little bit older, maybe it's 10 and we left the baby at home. I don't know. I don't really remember. But Kenny Mayne was our quarterback, right? And for people who don't know, Kenny Mayne was Randall Cunningham's backup at UNLV. So we got like a stud quarterback. We had Jay Harris was there. Michelle Beadle played. Beads was great. She was comedy routine. But Booyah shows up and, he couldn't see because he had a degenerative eye disease, right? So he's got the Oakley's, what was the guy, the big dog that played in Utah with Jazz with the Bulls? Google Jazz 1998. Okay. Anyway, so he had the Oakley's, like the new age rec specs. He had gloves. He had brand new cleats. Like he had everything. He looked like damn, did that dude play in the NFL? But you had to tell him, hey, Booyah, Kenny's going to throw you the ball. Because he couldn't see. Because he took one in the eye from a jugs machine, like in his good eye, like a couple years before. Again, because he couldn't see it. And they're like, if he didn't know, like that thing would hit him right in the dome. So I'd never forget. They'd be like, hey, Stu, we're throwing to you. Okay? So turn around and he'd catch it. But it was like very much pre-planned. My time at ESPN was awesome. Awesome. I loved the place. It was like college all over again. And for me, I went there. I worked for the Leader in 2002, 2003, doing college basketball. I lived in Oklahoma City. I did a middle of the day radio show. And then at the end of the season, I filled in France at Clermont-Ferrand as a fill-in point guard. I came back and I pitched myself to do the NBA draft because I played against Darko Milicic, who was the second pick. That was in LeBron draft. And I played against Boris Diaw and Michael Petrus as well when I played in France. Like, hey, I played against these guys. I've covered college basketball. My brother's a college basketball coach. My dad's an AAU coach. We know all these players. Like, I'm your guy for the draft. They're like, great, TV can't use you. We got Billis for the college guys. We got NBA guys for everybody else. But radio could use you. So that was my shot. And when I got done, a gentleman named Bruce Gilbert, who now runs Westwood One, Bruce Gilbert, sent me a nice letter. Hey, that was great. Can you talk any other sport? And I was like, hey, Bruce, I've done radio in Oklahoma City for a year, so I talk 3 sports: football, spring football, recruiting, right? So they brought me up, did an audition, and I did. It's so funny. People talk about like, how do you do 2 jobs? Like, dude, do you have any idea? When I was at ESPN, I did 4 days a week, 7 p to 1 a.m., 6-hour shift with me and Chuck Wilson, show called Game Night. Plus, if I wanted to do TV, they would only let me do TV on the days I did radio, so they didn't have to pay me extra. So I'd come in at like 2 and just sit around in the bullpen and see if ESPN News would be like, hey, you want to do college basketball? And that's how I got my start, just kind of grinding all the way. And, I became a college basketball analyst. I did college basketball games, but I was like the number 1 fill-in for what was Sports Nation, Cowherd and Beatles show. Numbers Never Lie. I was on that show. I'd be on Sports Center. Anyway, my iconic Stu and me moment was Austin Rivers hits the game winner for Carolina to beat Duke. And I'm on the set with Scott Van Pelt and Stuart Scott watching the last 5 minutes of the game. And then I get to kind of break down what happened. And it was dope, right? And then you walk out of the studio and he's just like, yo, DG, you're cool to the other side of the pillow. And I was like, oh my God, he knows my name. Stuart Scott knows my name. So yeah, there is people can lie all they want about, oh, I hate ESPN, I don't watch ESPN, whatever. Here's the reality to it. Okay. The two greatest things I've accomplished in broadcasting, right, are one Final Four set. It started in Atlanta. Greg Gumbel. It was. Let me make sure I get the order right. It was first year was Greg Gumbel. Then it was Charles Barkley, Kenny Smith, Greg Anthony, me. I'm like, wow, right? And after Carolina Duke and other big games, right? You hear that da-na-na, 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 and the red light goes on, and it's Scott Van Pelt, Stuart Scott, this guy, right?
Yeah.
So, pretty cool. And I haven't seen the doc. I'd love to check it out. Kind of a complex guy, right? He kind of got into character, and sometimes hard to get out of character when you're that person. But my interactions with him were nothing but great. And there was just he was known as Booyah. Everybody called him Booyah, and kind of changed sports broadcasting for our lifetime.
Absolutely. Doug Gottlieb, head coach of UWGB men's basketball and national radio host on Fox Sports 2 to 4 every afternoon. Happy Wednesday.
Can I give you one more quick story real quick?
Please.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're going to be late for film. Don't blame us.
No, I'm not. It's 28. It's the 30-second walk. I got my timing right. I'm a radio guy. I know my time.
Good.
So we have a partnership with Nicolay Bank, right? Because they're open. I think they have like over 110 branches now. They keep expanding. And so on my quarter zip, I have Nicolay Bank. So Eric Woodsack's a huge supporter of the program. So after that video went viral, I sent him a text like, "Hey, bro, got your money worth." I'm like circling. I sent him a photo and a crop of it, and I circled a little Nicolay sign on my shoulder. Got your money's worth.
Yep.
So listen,
right
that's
there.
all I'm doing here. Okay, I'm just trying to support the people who support us.
Yep.
That's
Man of the people. A man of the people, Doug Gottlieb.
December 17th, Crest Event Center. UCSB comes to town. Frozen tundra. Let's make it nice and cold and full for them. Look forward to seeing you in attendance, Trev.
I will be there, buddy. Get to IU Indy safe and come home with the dub.
Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. Wisconsin
Thanks,
Sports
Doug.
Radio Network guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call. That's all. Whew.
That was fun.
That's a blast.
Yeah, it was.
My favorite part of the week. When we come back, Josh Curveball here.
Yeah.
I want to talk about why people are upset that head coaches blow gaskets sometimes, but then other times, it's okay.
It's a good question. Let's talk about it.
We are inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. If you told me that Doug Gottlieb was going to open that interview calling himself a young Skywalker.
Yeah, a Jedi. He's a Jedi.
Right.
That's crazy. I also didn't think that he was going to be that knowledgeable about Star Wars in general. I was like, oh, Doug and I can nerd out for a minute. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm out on that. You can have it. All right, Inside Wisconsin Sports. Trevor, Josh, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Something fascinating came out of that conversation, and there was a few people that chimed in about this, too, on the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line. 414-677-1250. Josh and I would love to know your take on this. Doug Gottlieb blew his gasket and Jedi'd a stool.
Correct.
And there's a lot of people annoyed by that because how dare he? As a Wisconsin sports fan, when I watch Pat Murphy get ejected, I'm overjoyed and excited and grateful. And this is what I love about Murph. Or if I see Matt LaFleur go ballistic on the sidelines, I go, all right, buddy, there you go. Show some passion and some personality. I've never seen Doc Rivers get upset before, but that's probably because I have not watched nearly as many Bucs games as I have other things.
Yeah.
But this is very common practice in college basketball.
I think it's in all sports. I think people need to take a step back and realize that coaches like Phil Jackson were 1,000% the minority. Not a lot of coaches can be as passionate as you need to lead a team and not let any of that passion out. And keep in mind, the best comparison to coaching is parenting. Think about how frustrating it is when you're trying to parent a certain way, you're trying to help your child be successful, and then they still do something wrong. You get so mad, but because you can't just do it for them, right? They need to do it. You're coaching them, you're parenting them. Well, these coaches, Gottlieb or Murphy, or take your pick, they're there trying to, they can't physically do it. They have to try to help these players do it. They need to teach them how to do it. They're investing all of their emotion, though, into these kids. And then when things go wrong, there's so much of that, they need to get it out, just like we do as parents. If you're telling me as a parent, you've never needed to just go outside and scream for 3 seconds, I don't believe you ever raised a baby, because they drive you nuts. And you're on 2 hours of sleep, but you love that little thing more than life itself. You have those moments. It's no different than coaching.
I mentioned this during the interview with DG, and I'll share a story here. It came up over this last weekend when I was at Rikers basketball games. I coached that team when Rhodey was playing for 5 years, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And our 8th grade year, you guys, this is elementary basketball, okay?
Right.
Our 8th grade year, we had the best chance to win the conference, and this team had always been the younger team. They were constantly getting killed. And I knew that if we had a chance, we had to beat this one team, ironically, who they play on Monday night. And we prepped like crazy. Again, elementary basketball.
Right.
We prepped. I created a playbook. I mean, I was all in on this. I was that guy, totally.
You are that guy.
We came in to that game and came out like a fart in church. Terrible. And I called a timeout and I could feel it boiling. And I'm like, don't do it. Don't. And we got in the huddle. And this literally came up this weekend when I asked one of Rhodey's old teammates if he remembers this. And he goes, oh, when you blew your gasket on us? And I was like, yeah. I went like this. I felt myself shaking. And I went, wake up. Okay. As loud as I could, apparently. Had no idea. I was just trying to like, hey, guys, what? We worked so hard to be ready for this right here.
Mm-hmm.
And we're flat as flat gets. Okay. Now, I've talked about on the radio before that's how I got to know the Gutekunst family and Brian specifically, because his son is the same age as my son. After the game, we won. It worked.
There you go.
Didn't break a clipboard or nothing. After the game, I kind of felt embarrassed. I was like, oh, man, what am I doing? It's 8th grade basketball, bro. Like, settle down. And I had planned on asking the first parent that I saw as I was kind of walking off the court if they heard it. And who do you think it was?
Goody.
Yeah. I go, hey, early in the game, did you hear that? And he looked at me and he smiled and he goes, Trev, the whole gym heard that. I was like, whoopsies. Sorry.
Yeah.
It worked. But that's 8th grade basketball. Now,
right.
Commit yourself to a D1 basketball program or a professional team. They asked Matt LaFleur after the Bears game, how long do you get to celebrate that win? And Matt said, last night. That's it.
Right. You got a job to do.
Huge victory. First place in the NFC North. And on we go to Denver. There is no time to go, oh, man, what coulda, shoulda, woulda, or let's celebrate for 3 days. That's a huge win. We're in first place. Matt doesn't get days off.
Mm-hmm.
Matt goes to work. I thought about this week. Does he ever get a day off in the season? Or is this literally, Josh, no, right?
No, you get no days off.
That's
Absolutely
wild.
not.
Think about that.
Well, that's what you signed up for. You're getting paid for it, too. No days off.
Well, but look at your job. Look at my job. Look at anybody else listening out there that has a 5-work-day job. Now, for 4 straight months, you don't get any days off. And it is your life. You're telling me you're not going to blow a gasket every once in a while?
Sure.
Think you might.
I understand that point. I think that there's something to be said, too, about people that coach youth sports and how that almost is more difficult to me than someone that coaches at the high school, collegiate, or professional level. Sure, there's more pressure on you, but if you're passionate and you care about the players that you're coaching, you can scream at professional players. You can get upset at professional players. You cannot get upset at 8th graders.
One time.
Well, but the point is that it's way more difficult because you still have that amount of passion, that same amount of passion. You want that win just as badly for those guys, for your kids, for whatever it is. But you can't get in their face and say something because you need to realize this is a youth sport. And while winning is great, there are more important values. It's very difficult to split those. And so I think it's interesting, and this all came from Nick in Greenfield, who texted in on the Nicolay Law fan talking text line, 414-677-1250, who said, what is it about coaches losing their temper? Well, that's what it is. It's that they're passionate about who they're coaching about. If a coach just stands there and acts like he doesn't care,
exactly,
I'm questioning that a whole lot more. Why am I more pissed than you? That's a big deal in my book.
As a fan, that's what we want to see, right, Josh? I would much rather see my coach be heated both on the happy side and on the anger side. If we're doing really well, and that's a conversation I had with Doug Gottlieb, and we've talked about it before. Last year, ironically, against Robert Morris, they were up 17 in the first half. And I remember I sat courtside. I was right there by Doug the entire season last year. And his happiness level, they were having a season, let's be honest, was at like a 3. They were up 17. They were down 22 in the second half, and Doug's pissed off level was 10.
Yeah.
And I'm going, buddy, those got to match, right? And so there's people chiming in that go to GB games a lot, and I get this a lot living here. People, it's kind of a take it or leave it thing, right? There's a lot of people that don't appreciate what Doug does from a passion level, and there's other people that do, and it doesn't bother them as much. But this is a small town, man. Green Bay.
Well, but I think it's for it's a bigger question. It goes beyond just Green Bay. Some really good text here coming in. Jeff from Luxembourg said, with Doug's emotions running high each game, it's not for everyone. My wife is more bothered by his passion during a game than I am. I mean, at best, you could say that maybe some of the frustrations, if there are some, just need to be out of the public view. But I'm not going to get mad at Doug for being passionate and doing these one-offs once in a while. He admitted he shouldn't have, but how do you feel if he goes in the locker room after and throws a chair in the locker room? You don't even know. Like, that's my whole point. It's just public perception. And I'm not mad at Doug or any coach for being frustrated and still trying to lead this team that he's working with every single day. You see them for a couple hours at the game. It's a big difference. Nigel said, the coaches put in so much time and effort. I do not question any of our local coaches or the decisions they make. The 608 said, I know that DG cares and wants to win when I see him react like he did, but you also don't want to embarrass the university either. So there's a fine line. That's true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's true.
Not all news is good news, and he knows that too. This is fun. I just got this text from a buddy of mine, Darren. He says, my mom was a housewife I believe she has still not had a day off since 1968. Her words.
Yep.
You ever seen a mom blow her gasket?
Oh, it's terrifying.
I rest my case, Your Honor. When my wife
3 days a week, but
seriously, right? I'm a yeller. I was raised by yellers. I love them dearly, and I was in an environment where there was a lot of yelling.
Yeah, old yeller. That's what I'm calling it from on.
Okay, better than positive Pete.
Okay.
So at some level, I understand when I have to just reel it in. Right. My wife has that like ticking time bomb thing where you just kind of see it coming, and I will look at my teenage boys now and go, like, bro, reel it in.
When Julie is mad and she goes off in the house, I'm with Jordy in the corner. I'm like, oh boy.
Yeah. This is not good. Not good. All right. What's up, Wisconsin? When we come back, we want to know what you're up to today. Are you enjoying the snow? If you're in one of the parts here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network that got a dumping of snow.
Did you get your snowblower fixed?
Yeah. Did you wait too long? Maybe.
Let us know.
My snowblower is out right now. His name is Rhodey. He's off of school. I very much appreciate it.
There you go.
Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. The Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text Line, 414-677-1250 inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Josh, what are you doing tonight?
Oh, what is up with me? That's a good question. I'll tell you what, I'm shoveling. I'm shoveling a lot of snow. Yeah, because I didn't shovel away the stuff from yesterday. So now I got a 2-day shovel plan ahead of me.
I'm going to have to help shoveling when I get home, I think. I left super early for work this morning. I was here a half an hour early because you and I have to be here. We don't have an excuse like, oh, couldn't make it into work today. Sorry. And do the show on the phone. That doesn't work. So it needs to get done. I feel bad because the oldest one, who I just called the snowblower, like the youngest one had to go to school because he only had a 2-hour delay. It's not his fault. So I guess I got to help him. There's a serious nap in my future, though.
Yeah, you got that coming?
414-677-1250. What are you up to, Wisconsin? There's already people texting in. School is canceled today, so waiting on the plow to roll through the neighborhood and then going outside to clear the driveway. That's my worst part. I don't have a snowblower, by the way. We have none.
Really?
Yep, we're shovelers.
We're a family of shovelers. Come from a long lineage of shovelers.
I guess, take one guess how many times I've shoveled this year.
Zero.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Because you have a
teenage boys.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, completely.
Dad, why don't we have a snowblower? Buddy, go look in the mirror. That's why.
Yeah, tell you why.
That's exactly
we do have one, and it costs a lot more than the one at the store.
Look at the 608. Riding high on a bowling last night of 726. Let's go.
Hey, there you go. Way to go.
Lambeau Field opens up today as well, so we'll hear from Coach Matt LaFleur plus the locker room on all things Denver Broncos, and we'll get to all of that tomorrow. Thanks to DG, Doug Gottlieb, for coming on today. Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. We will see you tomorrow.
Because we're not done yet.